call has been forwarded to an automatic voice message system.
Hey girl, just checking in. Are you still in bed? Get up, we have work to do. Don't forget, the workers are few, but the harvest is plenty. We've all experienced moments in our lives when things happen that seem too perfectly timed to just be random. Today, we are going to be talking about hope, faith, and how coincidences play a part. What is faith and what is hope?
Is that to me or like in a general sense?
In a general sense, like how do you understand it?
I think faith is. I think we had this conversation before, but I think faith is having, like trust in someone, that they would be able to help you with something. Yeah, I think simply put, that's how I would say it. And hope is your belief in a positive future.
Don't you think like faith deals with now and hope deals with like future? Because I have faith in this now. Hope is like this might happen, like future. Faith is like a now thing, like a belief in something now.
I think in a sense they are both like future facing. But let me explain that. I think if you have faith that something would happen now, you're not expecting it to happen like in that particular moment, like in the very now, right? You're expecting it to happen in the near future.
No.
Yeah.
Okay, I understand what you're saying. So it's about you're focusing more on like events happening, but I'm focusing on like a belief in something. So like faith is like believing in this thing, like here and now. But hope is like hoping something will happen. So it's like hope. How do I even explain this better? It's like hope has to do with situations, and faith has to do with substance,
person.
like things. Obviously, not things you can see only, but then things you can see and not see, but things that are like here now, like God is here now, like whatever it is that the people believe in is here now, not like the thing is now coming. If you get what I mean. But hope is like this future thing, this is going to happen or this might happen. Or you don't agree?
No, I get what you're saying, but I think differently about it. I would think of hope as a part of faith. So if I'm looking at faith, and if I'm to look at it from like having or faith in God, right? Let's use that. If I have faith in God, then it means that I trust that He would do something for me. So I have the hope that He would do this for me. I think it's more like, I think it's more something that we need to look at it from like, what does it mean?
Faith and hope do go hand in hand.
Yeah.
So, which like what you're saying is true. But then, do you think faith can stand on its own without hope, and vice versa?
Okay. I think hope. It depends on what. This is difficult. I think for hope, right? It depends on what grounds you're hoping in, right? So if let's say I hope I catch the bus. I hope I catch the bus because I am being early and I'm looking at what time the bus is coming. So I hope I catch the bus then. But then I have faith that I will catch the bus.
Because
Means that even if the bus comes, or even if the bus is supposed to come in 1 minute, and I am leaving my house in that very moment, and it takes me 2 minutes to get there, I have faith in the fact that God will not let me miss this bus because He would intend for me to get to work early.
but you can miss the bus, but the next bus will go faster than that bus. So that's what the faith will. It's true. So it doesn't necessarily mean
I get what you mean.
faith can be God making you pick the next bus. So the hope is that you catch that bus, but then faith is that even if I don't catch this bus, if I catch the next one, I'll still make it on time.
That makes sense, yeah.
Because if like there's no way the bus is coming at this time, and you have faith that you're going to catch it and it comes. It's not like the bus is going to wait for you.
Yeah.
So faith is that regardless, you make it your destination. Like even if it doesn't happen
On
the way
time.
you expected it to happen,
Yeah.
you would still like make it on time. Or even if you
Yeah.
get there late, you wouldn't be like, there'll be no punishments and nothing bad will come out of it.
Yeah. Okay. So I think just a question for you based on what you said. By your or by how you understand it, would you say that faith is more us trusting in God and what He has for us, and hope is more us trusting in ourselves and in the things that are fickle and things that are not like substantial for us to have belief in?
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
I strongly believe, or I think that
Yeah.
faith, obviously, like the former part is like right. Faith is me like believing in God that this is going to happen, or if not happens if it doesn't happen the way I want it to happen, it will eventually like work out in my favor. But my hope is backed by my faith, because I believe that if I have faith in God and I don't have hope that He will do the things that He said He will do, then it's cost 90. So my hope is backed by my faith. So it's not in anything fake. It's backed. So do you get me?
Yeah, it makes sense. Like hope is built on nothing less than right? Yeah, that makes sense. I think us having hope is like an important part of our faith. So you having faith in God or having faith means that you believe that He would do this, so you have hope that He would do this. Yeah, that's what you mean.
Yes.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay, but do you think someone can have? Because from what I'm saying, if you have hope, it means you have faith. Do you think you can have faith without hope?
I think so. Actually, okay. So I think it's possible for you to have faith in God and know that God can do this, but then you might have doubts in what He can do or how He can do it for you. So
Doubts as in hope. Okay.
I think
Okay.
we're using words, so let's use the words that we're supposed to be using, right? Yeah, I think it kind of makes sense to have faith and not have hope in a sense, but it's possible. But I don't think. Yeah, I don't know.
Okay, so this is how like I would explain it.
Right.
You can have, from what I said, you can have. Once you have hope, it means you have faith. But there are times when I feel like you can have faith without hope, in the sense that regardless, your faith is not swaying. Like you have faith in God that God is able to do exceedingly abundantly. He's able to do this and that and this and that. But then hope, because I understand hope from a situation point of view, like in this particular thing, this might happen, this might not happen. If this particular thing, I have hope in this. If something is happening, how do I explain this? If something is happening and I don't have hope, for example, I don't have hope that this is the bus example. I don't have hope that I'll catch this bus because I was supposed to catch it at 6:54, and at 6:53 I'm not leaving the house. Yeah. So I don't have. I've lost hope. I'm not going to catch this bus, but I still have faith that
God will still get you to work on
to my destination on time. Even if it's not on time, I won't get into any trouble with my boss or whoever I'm supposed to meet. Is not going to be mad at me and whatnot. So does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yes. So I think that's explains.
Yeah. I think you're explaining better than I would.
What do you think comes first? Like for every individual, faith or hope? And is it possible to? Okay, you already answered that. It's possible to have one without the other. Yeah, but then which one do you think comes first, faith or hope?
This is like asking the egg and chicken question. Like which comes first? I'm sorry, it's just a joke. I remembered. Yeah, which comes first? I would say hope. Girl. I would say faith comes first. In the sense that you have to have faith in something to be able to have better grounds for your hope. So, if you have faith in God, then you can hope that He would do something for you.
Exactly.
So I think faith comes first.
Which do you think is more powerful? Do you think there's something like that, like one is more powerful than the other?
I think they go hand in hand, right? Like they're both in tandem with each other. So yeah, I think they go hand in hand, and there's no one that's like superior to
But
the
don't you
other.
think one of them can stand on its own and the other can't? Or no? So the one that can stand on its own should obviously be the powerful one, or you don't think either of them can stand on their own?
Good question. How would you answer that?
I
No,
think
because when you asked me the question, it was something that came to mind. It was a scripture that came to mind, like
which
faith, hope, and love, right?
yeah.
But the greatest of them is
Paul,
love, right?
Paul
Yeah.
said it to her.
But then he says the greatest of them is love, but then he doesn't really compare faith, hope, right?
Yeah,
But that's what I'm asking, like, from your opinion, what do you think?
I think faith is stronger
Okay. Why'd you say so?
because that's the basis, that's the root.
Yeah.
So if I've built my faith, then it's now springs up my hope in God.
Yeah.
Because of my faith in him,
Yeah.
I have hope that he will do this for me.
Yeah.
But then if I didn't start from the basis and I went straight to hope, what's that hope built on? On what
Right.
foundation?
Right.
So I believe faith can't stand on its own. Because if I have the faith, at least if I don't have hope that this will happen right now, like eventually the hope will come.
Yeah,
So spring
yeah.
forth. But then if I just skip to the hope, no. So
Yeah.
I think faith is stronger. I think it
Yeah.
can stand on its own.
I agree with you
Or it's more
because
powerful.
I don't have an answer. Yeah.
But I mean, someone can disagree. So
Yeah, I agree with you.
yeah. Do you think hope and faith shape how we interpret life events?
Let me answer this from a personal perspective because I think for others it might be different. But I think for me, my faith and hope shape my like understanding of the things that happen in my life. That's what you asked, right? Yeah. I think for somebody who doesn't have faith in anything or hope in anything, they can just take life's happenings as life's happenings. Right?
You know, things happen in people's lives
Yeah.
and then they give it meaning. Some people base it off of faith, some people base it off of a random like happening. Some people say it's destiny, whatnot. So how do you see these things? Like when these things happen to you, do you see it as fate? Do you see it as fate? I mean, do you see it as a random thing happening? Like how do you see it? Like give me an example of a time that something has happened that has made you feel like, okay, this particular thing is this or is that or is this is that.
Okay. I kind of got your question onto some part. So what you're asking me is like something happening in my life and me thinking is fate, not faith, right?
Yeah.
Fate.
Yeah.
FATE. I don't think anything happens by chance, right? So I don't think things are like fate or things just happen just because they do. I think a lot of the times like things are like preceded or like preempted by a supreme being
So that
in this
means
sense in
your
God,
faith
right?
is influencing how you are interpreting these
How
things.
I'm interpreting like what's
Okay.
happening in my life. So for example, there are certain friends that I would make, right? That I don't think this is just me meeting them by coincidence or this is just fate, right? There are certain people you meet in your life that help you so much, or even people that don't help you so much, but then they help you to see things in like a different sense or help you have a better understanding of something. I don't think it's fate. So I think is shaped by God in a way that would work out for your own good. I think. And based off on that, that would shape like my faith in God in the sense that I would know that He is working in my life. I don't know if I'm answering your question, but
Kind of.
yeah.
Yeah, kind of. Because the first question I asked you was, do you think hope and faith shape how we interpret life events? But you didn't get the question, so I changed the whole question. And then your answer made me understand that indeed when these things do happen in your life, you interpret them as like faith, like religion driven, not from a scientific point of view where they'll say, oh, it's just random things happening. It's just, yeah, the stars were aligning, like things like that.
Yeah.
Okay, so have you ever had a moment where hope disappeared but faith stayed?
Oh yeah, lots of times. I think when I was still growing in my faith in God, let me use one example. I probably have said this to you before. I don't know if I have, but um, yeah, there were times when actually, let me use my job search situation because there were times where, so like when I was looking for a job, I didn't not believe that God would do it for me, right? But then like hope was lost, like literally, like I couldn't imagine having a job, but then I knew that God still had my best interests, or God was still working out things for me, and I still believed I would get a job. I just didn't know when or how it was going to happen. So in that moment, I would say I didn't have a lot of hope, but I had faith in God that eventually something was going to turn out for me. Yeah.
Okay, do you think coincidences, right? Do you think they, when they do happen, do you think they strengthen your hope or faith, or did they just simply make you want to like ask questions? I get curious.
I don't exactly believe in coincidence, but like you mean
Okay,
like
so how
things
do you
just
understand
happen?
coincidences?
I think how people interpret coincidence is,
Like the layman, like everyone's like answer.
yeah, I think it's just like this happened because of this. I think that's how people interpret a lot of coincidences, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or like yeah, like this happened because this happened.
Mm-hmm.
No,
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
See, it's like a simple
what's a
happening. It's like,
coincidence?
to me, it's like a simple happening. Like something has just like happened, like random thing that has just
Like
happened.
basic life happenings.
Basic life happenings.
Yeah,
But then obviously if you go deeper into it, that's why it's like
yeah,
a layman. If you go
yeah.
deeper into it, then why do you think it's a basic life happening? Like what caused this to happen? Like is it because of this?
That's
Is it
what I
because
said.
of that?
I
Is
said
it
things happen because of this. That's
no,
what I
yes, that's true, that's true. Yes, that's true, that's true.
said. Yeah.
So do you think like it, so if you don't believe in it because you are deep in it as in like a random thing, but here's a case where in your opinion it
Yeah.
is based off on, like it's not just a coincidence, it is
Yeah.
God's plan, like it's
Yeah.
God's
Yeah.
will. So do you think they strengthen your faith or your hope, like when they do happen? Like for example, um you are broke, like you are seriously broke, like you don't have any money, then randomly your uncle will text you, then he says, Pero, I'm sending you this money. How would you see it? Like does it strengthen? Obviously, you see, you think the God has sent him, right? So in that moment, is this going to strengthen your faith and hope?
Yes, surely. I think a lot of the times like uh, our faith and hope is strengthened in times when we don't have it.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So like you said about being broke, if I'm at my very lowest, then if something happens in that moment, then it will strengthen my hope, and then I would have more faith in God that He would come through for me at a later time when something similar happens.
Mm-hmm.
But then that doesn't mean that when something similar happens, I think humans tend to forget a lot.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't mean that when something similar happens, I would remember what happened the last time.
Mm-hmm.
So in that moment, I might be a little bit down again.
Mm-hmm.
But then it doesn't mean that my faith wasn't strengthened in that moment to be able to take me through up until the time when something happens again.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
When something goes wrong, despite your hope or your faith in God, how do you rebuild your belief?
Hmm.
Or how do you advise someone or advise yourself to let
Yeah,
us if you don't do it currently?
bro. I don't even think I'm good at this, so I don't know how to advise people. But when something goes wrong, I think I won't say when something goes wrong. When something doesn't go my way,
Mm-hmm.
um, I think initially it's very hard to accept it, right? That something has not gone the way that you want it to go. But I think what I used to encourage myself is the fact that I don't have the full picture. Like, I don't know why that happened, right? Again, job search situation. Like, there was a time I was very close to this job and I didn't get it. And in a sense, I was like, I am qualified for this one. Two, I think this will be a very good place for me as well, like job wise, for me to grow as a person. So why would God not want that for me? But then again, in retrospect, or like right now, I see why that happened, right? So I think, like I said, we don't have the full picture all the time. So yeah, just don't know what's going to happen in the future. Final thing I would say, I think something that a lot of people talk about in our day and age is around having faith in yourself and like like believing, how do they call that, like affirming yourself and like all of those things, right?
Self-love,
Hey,
self-affirmation, what?
or whatever. I think even in that sense, as human beings, like we are very we can't depend on ourselves at all, right? So we can't even have faith in ourselves to be sure that something would go right for us. So I think just based off on like what you said earlier around having faith in someone that's better than you, I think that's like better faith than having faith in yourself to know, to put yourself in a place where you think you can do all things and you can make things happen for yourself. Like that is very basic.
Well, there's a thin line between like not
motivating yourself to do the thing.
Exactly.
Yeah, and then also thinking you are the ogboro and you can do all of that. So I think there's a very thin line between having faith. No, not very thin actually. I think it's a big line.
No, it's a thin line.
Is it?
Yeah, because like somebody go and get a job.
Yeah.
And he strongly believes that he got it because he studied so hard, blah blah blah, which is true.
Yeah.
He did all his preps for the interview and whatnot. But then somebody to come and say that in as much as like you did all these things, I promise you, God can give it to you. You will say like it was so difficult for the person to like try and understand it from the other person's point of view that this is it or this is it. So it's like I feel like it's a thin line.
Yeah.
You actually never know.
I would say what I would say to that is that believe in the fact or believe in like what God has given you and who God has made you enough to have confidence in yourself to know that you can do those things.
Yeah.
But then put your faith in God to know that He would be able to help like make things happen for you. Because you can be very qualified for something and you still wouldn't get it.
Yeah.
No matter what. But then it's God that makes things happen for people. Yeah.
I actually wanted to say this too. That coincidences, right? There are moments when life surprises us, and then how we choose to interpret them like shows who you are. So, for example, if something happens to you, Beryl, as a Christian, you would interpret it as not a normal random coincidence. You interpret it as God's will.
Yeah.
Someone else that is not a Christian will interpret it as something else. So even though like coincidences happen to everyone, how we choose to interpret them shows who you are or who you are or who you are.
And who you belong to.
And who you belong to. So the real question here is that it's not whether coincidences mean something.
Yeah.
But rather what meaning are you or you willing to give to them when they do happen?
Yeah.
I think that's it.
Yeah, cool.
Thanks for listening. Bye.